Sheriffs across the country are panicking over vaccine mandates that do not exist. Now, I'm a proponent of vaccine mandates, but these individuals are not because they believe in all sorts of conspiratorial garbage. But the story actually gets even worse than that. Here's Sheriff Mark Lamb of the Pinal County Sheriff's Department. This is in Arizona. Here's what he has to say about proposed vaccine mandates.
Hey folks, Pinal County Sheriff Mark Lamb here. With the increase in private businesses and even government organizations talking about mandating the vaccine, I wanted to let you know that here at the Pinal County Sheriff's Office, we do not mandate the vaccine. And as long as I'm your sheriff, we will never mandate the vaccine. We believe that your health choices are yours and yours alone. So whether you get the vaccine or don't get the vaccine, that's your private information. Here, we believe in America and freedom, and we're gonna continue on with that. God bless.
Health choices should be yours and yours alone when it does not have to do with a contagious virus that has killed more than 600,000 Americans in a short period of time. Obviously, the point of getting vaccinated is to keep Americans safe, to prevent them from having to be hospitalized or from dying as a result of the coronavirus, but it also significantly lowers a vaccinated person's chances of contracting the virus in the first place, which means that it lowers the chances of a vaccinated person from spreading the virus to others. But apparently this sheriff is completely unaware of the fact that we already have vaccine mandates that are implemented in public school systems across the country. But nonetheless, yes, it's not Pinal, is it Pinal?
I don't know.
Anyway,
don't care.
So I wanted to make that correction. But I also want to note that right now, no such vaccine mandate in that area exists. That this is reported by Vice News. They say, on the contrary, Arizona's governor recently signed an order blocking local governments from adopting vaccine mandates. Now, this is a growing problem, because it's not just about coronavirus, it's about these rebel sheriffs who literally say that they will not enforce laws that they disagree with. Lamb is a prominent figure in the constitutional sheriffs movement, a quietly growing network of renegade law officers who believe God enshrined them with the highest constitutional authority in the US, and that they have a special right to ignore any laws they personally believe are unconstitutional.
Fire them all, fire them instantly.
And it gets worse. I'll give you more details about this group in just a minute, but Cenk, you're chomping at the bit, go ahead.
Yeah, what do you mean you're not gonna enforce the law? That's literally your job. It reminds me of the Muslim cash register guy. I think it was a case in Minnesota a long time ago. And he's like, I don't want to ring up the bacon because it's against my religion. Well, then get another job, because your job involves ringing up bacon, ham, etc. Right? The lady in Kentucky who didn't want to give out marriage license to gay couples. Well, your job is to give out marriage licenses. Now it's legal. You have to give out marriage licenses. Well, I don't want to do that job. Great, then you're fired. Why is this hard? It's not at all hard. It's like a doctor saying, well, I refuse to do surgery. Well, you're a surgeon. I know, I refuse to do it. Great, you're fired. This is not hard. So these bunch of jackass sheriffs, renegade makes them sound cool. No, they're losers, they're mental patients. They think God is talking to them specifically and tells them not to do their job. And then God says to them, you have special constitutional privileges. You are white and a right winger. You have special privileges, God said. Did he? Did he? I think you belong in a mental asylum. They carry badges and guns. And of course, you're gonna be shocked to find out that same guy that we showed you started warning about if any Black Lives Matter activists come around these parts, they're gonna have trouble. So, okay, great, you're targeting blacks. You think he's not targeting Latinos down in Arizona? Okay, why? Because God whispered in his ear, oh, you get to hate other people. Oh, you're so special. I picked you to be a sheriff. Ignore the laws. No, fire everyone in that organization instantly. They're telling you they're not going to do their job. It's not at all hard. Fire them all. You want to call it cancel culture and cry about it? I don't care. Do your goddamn job. Otherwise, we're not going to pay you. It's our money. It's taxpayer money. And if you're not going to do it, or you're gonna do it poorly and you say, oh, I'm gonna target brown people and black people, and I'm gonna say God whispered it in my ear. Shut up and go get another job.
No, I mean, the lawlessness that is supported by sheriff's departments and local police officials is pretty incredible. I mean, look, this is unrelated to the coronavirus mandate story. It's also unrelated to the group that we're talking about here. But this is not something that's just indicative of right-wing parts of the country. Look at what's happening with the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department and the fact that for a very long time now, I mean, we've known this since the 90s, there are literal street gang members within their ranks. And it's just like this open secret that no one does anything about. So Google Los Angeles Sheriff's Department gangs. You'll see the information about it, and it just shows you the amount of lawlessness that takes place within sheriff's departments and local police departments. Now back to the constitutional sheriffs, because who are they? Where did this come from? And what do they genuinely believe? Does this go further than COVID-related matters? And unfortunately, the answer is yes. The Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association was founded by a former Arizona sheriff, Richard Mack, in 2011, intended as a sheriff-centric spinoff of, oh, look at that, another gang, Oath Keepers Militia. Now, militia, I think, makes these groups sound like they're cool when they're really not. These are just right-wing gangs that somehow get treated differently here in the US. Mack incorporated many of the ideas from the anti-government militia, Posse Comitatus, and sovereign citizen movements that he'd forged alliances with over the years and formalized them through the Constitutional Sheriffs movement. So this is how this group began. And their influence is pretty terrifying. So the influence of Constitutional Sheriffs movement has been especially evident over the last year as dozens of sheriffs nationwide, many of whom are self-identified adherents of the movement, defied lockdown orders, participated in reopen rallies, refused to enforce temporary bans on guns at polling places. This is, of course, during the 2020 general election, and pushed 2020 election conspiracies.
Yeah.
Why are they not fired?
So the sovereign citizens movement has two problems. Number one, it kills cops. So here's cops going, oh, you kill other cops? Well, were they liberals or something? Who cares? Come on, man. Let's all form an alliance here, and I'll get a bunch of sheriffs to join your side. Second problem is sovereign citizens movement is about being sovereign and not following the laws of the country, the state, the locality that you're in. Well, the job of the sheriff is to enforce the laws of the local area, the state, and they're not doing it. They're saying we're actively over here, us. We're not doing our job, ha 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 ha. And you give us a position to enforce the laws. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to enforce whatever the hell I want because I have right-wing privilege. And the problem, guys, is that the left wing, the moderates, the media, the government, otherwise in this country is so pathetically weak, and they enable these insane right-wingers to run roughshod over our laws and create anarchy and chaos and say, I don't want to enforce your stinking laws. I want power. I hate democracy. I hate freedom. If it's your freedom, I hate it. If it's my freedom to oppress you, I'm gonna get a badge and a gun, and I'm gonna ignore anything that you tell me to do, and I'm gonna be totally lawless vigilantes. And we tolerate it.
Yep.
That's insane that we tolerate it. That's why I say everybody that's on that list should instantly be fired. They are announcing to you that they're not gonna do their jobs. Back to Lamb, okay? So, sorry, Anna, on Lamb, he said on top of that, when he wanted to attack the Black Lives Matter protesters, he said he wanted to form a civilian posse as well. You're the sheriff, what the hell do you need a civilian posse for? That's saying, I suck at my job, I refuse to do my job, and I'd like others to do my job for me.
That's awesome that the taxpayers in that community are funding that guy's salary as he just openly and transparently says that he will not enforce laws that he disagrees with and that he's gonna engage with right-wing gang members. In fact, he's part of this right-wing gang. I mean, it just blows my mind. It's totally fine, totally fine. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of, Glenn Greenwald is adjacent former left-wingers, I don't know what they are now, scaremongering about crime in the country, which to be fair, crime has gone up. But they're talking about lawlessness when it comes to poor people. They don't ever talk about lawlessness when it comes to people in power. And this is what we're talking about, right? This is lawlessness among people in positions of power that just goes unnoticed Or if it is noticed, they don't face any ramifications or consequences for it. I'll give you another example. And again, this is all brazen, it's all out in the open, it's overt, it's not like they're secretly conspiring in any way. Earlier this summer, Sheriff Bob Songer of the Klickitat County, Washington department, who has close ties to the constitutional sheriff's movement, threatened to arrest any state officials who try to enforce COVID-19 restrictions in his jurisdiction.
The state troopers should have gone in with very heavily armed, and I would hate for there to be an actual armed conflict. But these guys are super dangerous, and parts of this movement, as I've said before, has killed law enforcement. They should go in very prepared and make sure that they arrest that man threatening to kill other people and not follow the law. Your job is to follow the law and enforce the law. You say you won't do it. This is so obvious. All right, one more thing about Lamb. He's doing this thing, he's calling himself the American sheriff because it's all about marketing, it's all about money-making scams on top of the lunacy, right? On top of the law breaking. So he's charging $4.99 a month to subscribe to the American Sheriff Network, and then they show them presumably kicking ass, God knows what illegal things that they're doing on that network, okay? I don't know, it's a literal question. I don't know where the $4.99 is going to. If it's going to his pocket, who authorized, even if it's going to the sheriff's department in general, who authorized you to start a company, a little racket on the side, using taxpayer money? You're supposed to be actually doing law enforcement. You know, people that are getting mugged, robbed, raped, whatever in your county, you don't give a damn about that. You're like, how am I gonna make money? I'm not gonna enforce law. Well, God whispered in my ear, I should make all the money. Give me the money, give me the money. And you're gonna take taxpayer money and you're gonna set up this goddamn racket? Because you know what, the thing that conservative leaders have realized is that their followers will believe anything. And they'll let them break the law and they'll give them money to break the law. So they're taking advantage of people who they think are schmucks. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.